Hi guys, KP this side. Hope all of you are doing good. This is vlog number 62 in Decoding Equity Markets with KP series. For a change, instead of doing it on Sunday, I plan to do it on a Monday because it's a holiday today. Because of Gandhi Jayanti, markets are closed. So I thought, okay, why not make a video on Monday to get a feel that it's a holiday for us, right? Last week, closing on Friday was decent for Nifty, with Nifty closing above 19,600 levels, which I have been telling you in my last couple of videos that 19,600 is a crucial support for Nifty. It did go below 19,600 for a couple of times, but the closing is what was coming above 19,600. It did go above 19,700 also on Friday, but then finally the closing came at around 19,638 for Nifty, and 44,584 was the closing for Bank Nifty. So yes, I would say the levels are being respected at this point of time, and like I told you that 19,600 is a crucial support for Nifty. Probably we are waiting for macroeconomic things to stabilize a bit, and only then we would be testing the 19,800 odd levels again. On the downside, I think everything is open right now, given the uncertainty at macroeconomic level. Thankfully, Dow Jones on Friday closed at 33,507, which again has respected the 33,500 mark. And last week it did go down also, but it was able to sustain above 3300 200 crucial support. Things Couple of good news were there for US. Still, it's very surprising as to why Friday closing for Dow Jones was on a downside. It was down, I think, around 160 points, which leaves me clueless as to why it was down on Friday. Thursday it was up, but Friday again the closing happened around 33,507. Nasdaq, I am still not worried, guys, because Nasdaq is very much comfortable for anything above 13,000 mark, and it is able to sustain those levels. For Nasdaq, I think the only time to worry would be if it is going below 12,000 to 12,800 levels is where I think it will push us, make us push the panic button. But anything above 12,800 is looking comfortable for Nasdaq. Few things which I want to discuss with you regarding the global economy. As far as China is concerned, good news for China is that September, the PMI manufacturing, the index basically, was at 50.2. I have already explained this to you in my earlier videos that this index value, anything above 50 is good. It was 49.7 in August, and it is 50.2 in the month of September, which is actually significant to measure how good the factory activity is. And if you go by this index, it's for the first time in last 6 months that factory activity for China has expanded. It's for the first time, which is actually a good sign for them. Property markets are still on a downside, but overall, if you see, the government is still being very proactive. They are trying their level best to revive the economy. They are not shying away from giving any sorts of monetary support, and they're also trying to work out on their policies by giving in more lenient terms and conditions, cutting down on the strict covenants, and they're trying their level best to revive the real estate sector. But at this point of time, the real estate is still struggling, but factory activity, like I told you, is picking up. Moreover, as we go towards the end of this year, then again we will have our eyes on the Chinese New Year, and that is when the tourism and the personal spending goes up really well if we go by the past. So based on that, if you see, the next 3 to 6 months is going to be very crucial for China. But their government is very sure on one thing, that they are not going into a stagnation period like what was experienced by Japan for a decade or so. They're very confident about that their policies will help them to revive the economy at a faster pace. That is what they are of a belief. As far as US is concerned, the entire last week they were tensed because, see, for US what happens is the funding has to come from the Congress side. I've already explained in my earlier videos, guys. If you go back 2 to 3 months back, when I told you that US is having a lot of difficulties as far as their debt burden is concerned. Initially they were just printing a currency and they were distributing it in the name of stimulus. Then they suddenly realized that people have a lot of money, so their spending power is going up. Then suddenly they started experiencing a lot of inflation in the economy. Then to cut down the inflation, they started increasing the bank interest rates. They tightened their monetary policy. Everything has turned out to be a faux pas for US economy. The government policies are screwed up badly. Everything has gone for a toss. Everything is looking haywire for the US government. This is where Congress comes in. Initially, they objected to the revision of debt ceiling on the upward side. They said no more debt borrowings will be allowed to the government because we are already having a lot of debt. Then they allowed to increase the debt ceiling. Now the problem is Congress has objected to funding the government any further. Because they are of a belief that the government is spending casually and the debt is too high, so they cannot justify borrowing more from Congress. But then finally, so the talks were going on that US might have to go into a shutdown. So what do you mean by a shutdown, guys? A shutdown means amounts relating to tax refunds, the military personnel, their payments, the ATC, the air traffic controllers, their payments, all these government, especially the government officials, their payments will be put on hold if the economy has to go into a shutdown. But then it's not just the stoppage of payments which really happens. It is the negativity, it is the negative sentiments which are created in the process. And if for any reasons the shutdown has to happen, then that will have a very bad impact at macroeconomic level, because the country which ranks first as far as the GDP is concerned, the most strong economy of the globe, if they have to go into a shutdown, that brings in very, very negative vibes in the overall global economy. You understand what I'm saying? So this decision was supposed to be taken on 1st of October, and yesterday, thankfully, they have the Congress has agreed that for next 45 days they will continue with the funding. So at least till November 16th or 17th, I think, now they will not have any difficulties. Just see the loopholes in their policies. Even when they are running short of funds, even when they are having debt to their nose level, they are still funding Ukraine for their war against Russia. Just see the priorities these people have. They can stoop down to any extent just to keep their name up in the global economy. अंदर से हालत खराब है आपका. You don't even have money to pay your military personnel. You have to fight Congress every time for increasing debt ceilings. You don't even have funds to look after your social security payments. But यूक्रेन का फंडिंग आप मत रोकिए, वो काम आपके लिए जरूरी है. यूक्रेन फंडिंग इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. This is also what Congress has objected to, and they have said any further financial aid will be given provided the government has to cut down on any allocations towards the war with Russia. Any further financial assistance to Ukraine should not be given. And now the government has agreed upon that. Just see. आप सिर्फ ये समझने का कोशिश करिए कि केपी सर यहाँ पे आके चिल्लाते नहीं हैं. आई एम नॉट जस्ट क्रिटिसाइजिंग यूएस गवर्नमेंट for no rhymes or reasons. There are valid reasons. Any educated person with a very basic level of intellect can understand that their total policies are screwed up. Their priorities are wrongly chosen. They have no idea what they're supposed to do. They have no idea. जिसके मन में जो आ रहा है वो कर रहा है यूएस में. This is how they are running the show right now. The world's most powerful economy has no idea how to run the country. Okay, so now the good news is from from our angle, if you see, the good news is that a shutdown has been averted. Averted is the word. Averted का मतलब होता है अभी के लिए this problem is not there, but this is not the end of the problem. This is deferment of the problem. Problem तो आना है. What magic is going to happen in next 45 days? That suddenly US will have lot of money and they will have very limited debt to pay. उसके ऊपर से एक तो आपके पास पैसा है नहीं, उसके ऊपर से you are doing everything possible on earth to throw your economy into recession. If a country goes into recession, to my basic understanding, I feel if a country goes into recession, it will also have a bad impact on the tax revenues of the government. अब जब tax collection ही नहीं होगा आपका, when you don't have money coming in the form of tax collections, what is your other source of revenue? Not able to understand that. I'm not able to understand that. So this news has come in yesterday, guys. Now the market reaction will happen today. Today morning when I saw US Dow futures were trading 150, 160 points up. Nasdaq futures were also 80, 85 points up. Just before recording this video, I again checked it. Now I think Dow futures were up around 80, 90 points. They're still in green. Probably today market should open in green for US markets, which will again have a positive impact on Nifty tomorrow morning. But Friday closing for Dow was bad, which is 160 points down for no reasons. Again, maybe because of this uncertainty of shutdown. They can always give a reason why markets have to crash. Crash करने के लिए 100 reason है उनके पास, चलाने के लिए एक भी नहीं है. Correct? They have this tendency now. They can give you XYZ infinite number of reasons why market should crash in US on a given day. But they don't have good enough reasons why market should go up. Right? So Friday evening, that is late night, gift Nifty was down by around 97 points. But if today US markets open good, maybe tomorrow we will not see a lot of pressure on Nifty tomorrow morning when markets open. Okay, this is what I understand. Another good news for US is that their personal consumption expenditure price index has gone up by 3.9% on annual basis for August, which is for the first time in 2 years it has fallen before 4% for the first time. So this is another good news that personal consumption expenditure is slowly going down. This is what the intention of the government is. So this is holding good for them, right? So your inflation seems to be coming under control. Basically, this is the price index is seen always from personal consumption point of view, and which is now standing at 3.9%. They want to bring it into the target zone of 2%, which obviously is a little far right now. But good part is that in the 2 years, this is for the first time it has come down under 4%. So what they're intending to do, they're going in the right direction as far as that is concerned. So this news was already there on Friday, but still markets did not react. The bond yields are still going high, and the shutdown problems, all these things taken into account, overall market was having a negative mindset on Friday. As far as India is concerned, our current account deficit numbers were looking good. So overall, if you compare it on year basis, for first quarter of 23-24, the current account deficit has reduced from 2.1% of GDP to 1.1% of GDP, which means it has almost become half. Current account deficit is basically the difference in your exports and imports. If you're importing a lot and relatively your exports are less, then the deficit is widened. But now compared to last year, this year, our exports have been on a higher side, as a result of which we are still net importers. But overall, if you see, your gap has narrowed a lot this year. So this is one good news. Your GST collections are again at 1.63 lakh crores for the month of September, which is again a very, very good number. Forex reserves back to back for 4 months have gone down. One big reason for Forex reserves going down, like I have explained in multiple videos of mine, is that when your crude prices are going up, it will always have some pressure on your Forex reserves. Dollar also appreciating against rupee and Forex reserves going down. These are all the results of crude oil prices going up, because we import hell a lot of crude every month, hell a lot of crude. And all this when we are getting so much crude from Moscow, and that too in currencies other than US dollar. So whatever has happened in last couple of years, guys, has helped us big time. Now we understand that, because if we would have been still dependent on Saudi for our crude supplies, and we are still paying them in dollars, with crude prices going up, dollar would have appreciated a lot against rupee, putting more pressure on forex reserves. And even for your economy, that is not good, because when dollar is appreciating at a very fast pace against rupee, then a lot of FII money will flow out of the country, which is still happening right now. But the intensity of that money moving out of the country would have been faster if rupee depreciated against dollar at a very fast pace. I hope you're understanding my point, because see, when US people bring their money into the country, they're not just investing in your equity markets or bond market. For them, your rupee should be stable against dollar. If rupee keeps depreciating against dollar, then whatever they have earned in the equity or bond market, they will lose that in the currency market. So they don't want rupee to depreciate against dollar. If rupee constantly keeps depreciating against dollar for any reason, they will start taking out their money from India. Understood? So what is the big concern right now? The concern is towards the end of the week, crude prices have again started going down a little bit. But during the week, it even went up to $95 per barrel. And it does not seem to be stopping there, because now a lot of projections are being made that crude oil prices may go towards 100, then 110. I think JP Morgan has done their research, and they are of a viewpoint that it may even go up to $150 per barrel in next 2 years. So a lot of talks are being done about it. But right now the problem is the crude. That is the biggest problem we are facing right now, because understand one thing very clearly: crude is not a luxury product. It's a mandatory thing. It is a necessity. For something which is necessity, you cannot do away with it. You cannot do away with it. So आपका demand intact रहेगा. Your demand is going to stay intact. If supplies are reduced, whether it's artificial or it's natural, but if supplies are reduced, demand is intact, the prices are only going to go higher. If prices are going higher, crude works as directly or indirectly, it works as a input for many products, whether it's used in manufacturing activity or in aviation sector or in auto sector, wherever it is used, whether it's used in paint industry, tire manufacturing, everywhere crude is needed. Most of the industries are heavily dependent on crude. Crude prices going up straight away means inflation is going up. Now for a struggling economy like US, or for that matter UK, Europe, for these struggling economies at this point of time, crude prices going up is directly it is going to impact their inflation. And if they lose control of inflation, then obviously negative sentiments are going to develop. That is the biggest fear of the market right now. So I'm not saying that markets ka correction unjustified. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying markets ka correction is unjustified, because I have been one person who has always told you that crude is one very, very crucial component which decides the directions of the equity markets. Yes, it is one such factor which alone can shake the markets. It alone can shake the market. So we have to see how crude prices are going to be from here on. Because so many sanctions have been put on Russia. So even countries like US and Europe, they are eyeing big time on suppliers other than Russia, which also puts some pressure on the supply side. Because if you're not taking it from Russia, then one supplier less in the market. But again, the demand is still the same. So this is the big problem right now. So we have to be very watchful. My suggestion to you is that, ठीक है, markets up and down होता रहेगा. We don't see a significant correction in the market. अभी ऐसा नहीं अचानक से, at least at this point of time, standing on 2nd of October 2023, I don't personally see a reason why markets can crash down below 18,800 levels. मेरे को लगता है यहाँ से बहुत खराब अगर होगा, if something goes terribly bad, on the bad news is coming in, probably we may see markets struggling to hold 19,600, then 19,500, then 19,200, then 19,000. वहाँ से कितना गिरेगा? 18,800. At this juncture, I feel the last fall which I can see, the terrible fall which I can see, can maximum stretch down to 18,800. उसके नीचे मेरे को नहीं दिखता है. I'm talking about the worst possible which I can see from this point of time. Understood? So if we are talking about 18,000, 17,800, we are talking rubbish things. At least at this point of time. मतलब ये क्या है कि आपने bearish खेला हुआ है market में, तो आप what you are playing, you are praying to God that it should happen. Okay, that is a biased opinion. But if you ask me for an unbiased opinion, I personally feel Nifty has been doing very good by sustaining above 19,600 levels, which I told you 15 days back very clearly. 19,600 इतना आसानी से नहीं टूटेगा. See, जब markets गिरने लगता है ना, the so-called investment advisors and experts in this field, right? Experts, they start talking like कि बस दुनिया खत्म हो गई, this is the end of the world, सब मर जाएंगे, पैसा सारा पैसा मार्केट में खो जाएगा, आपके पास कुछ नहीं बचेगा, मार्केट खत्म हो जाएगी. This is how people talk, but you have to see things logically, because the problem has to be big enough for markets to crash by 8 to 10%. वैसा कुछ फिलहाल दिख नहीं रहा है. If it is going to be there, I won't shy away from telling that to you. I will prepare you for that also. But even now, you can't take things lightly. Like I told you in my last video also, आप अपना exposure कम रखिए. Delivery based markets, focus on good quality stocks. This is very good time when you can accumulate some of the large cap stocks. Mid cap and small cap, if you are getting good profits, time to book some profits now, rather than living in the dream world of utopia कि अभी 200 का 500 हुआ है, 500 से 1000 होगा, then I will sell. No, don't do that. Even if you are a very long term investor, I would say book some profits on at least 25 to 30% of your exposure quantity. That is what I suggest. Try to go for stocks which are safe, which are fundamentally good, where businesses are lasting for last 2-3 decades. Go for those kind of businesses where it's proven business. Mid cap, small cap, if you're getting good profits, at least get rid of 50% of the quantity is what I suggest. But if you're a very long term investor, then also I suggest go for curtailing down your quantity by 25 to 30%. That is my suggestion. FNO, just with every fall, don't look for opportunities to add. Have your put options, not deep out of money put options. Have your put options which are very close to the current prices. Even if the premium cost is high, right now don't worry about the premium cost, because it is just like taking an insurance on your positions. अभी अगर अपना positions को protect करेंगे, right now if you can protect your positions, lose lead of your capital, you will always have opportunities to again maximize your returns. So right now we should go safe. Just because you have capital तो trade लेना है does not work like that. पैसा पड़ा हुआ है अकाउंट में इसलिए ट्रेड लेना है, no compulsive buying, no compulsive increase of exposure. Wait, let the situation get okay. Things are looking okay right now, but there is still uncertainty in the market. The biggest uncertainty comes from crude oil, right? Okay, now coming to indices, I feel Dow Jones is still what I would look at. Dow Jones 33,500 के ऊपर अगर रहेगा, if Dow Jones is sustaining above 33,500 levels, I think Nifty will keep respecting 19,500, 19,600. This is what I feel. Dow has to break 33,200 on the downside, and that is when Nifty probably will break 19,500 on the downside. Right now, all the tensions are coming from US front. So that is the reason why I don't want to do independent analysis of Nifty. I would talk about Nifty based on how Dow is behaving, and based on how Dow is expected to behave in the coming week, I will try to predict Nifty. Because Nifty right now, the kind of situation we have, cannot do anything in isolation. अभी हम लोग outrun करेंगे हर market को, we will outperform every other market. No, not now, not now. I would like to go safe. ज़्यादा bullish होने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Let's not be ultra bullish on Indian equity markets. Indian economy is doing good, guys. It's doing good. That's why I told you forex reserves and has not broken as much as it could have depleted. GST collections are still high. Current account deficit is on the low side. Your everything is looking fine, perfectly fine. Economy अच्छा चल रहा है आपका. Companies will post again good numbers for second quarter also. I am very confident about it. But my suggestion is right now to go a little conservative and try to see Nifty from the viewpoint of Dow, because if Dow is able to handle itself na, Nifty वापस revive करेगा is what I feel. So Dow has to take crucial support at 33,200 levels. Nifty will take support at 19,500. But if Dow breaks below that, then probably we are eyeing towards 19,200. Right now, this is what I want to predict. On the upside, if Dow is able to sustain above 33,800 levels and start marching towards 34,200, that is when I think Nifty will be able to consolidate itself in the 19,700 and 800 zone. अभी ऐसा नहीं कि शूट अप होकर 20,000 जाएंगे, अभी ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. But I feel that 100-200 points play will keep happening. No drastic downside is going to happen. This is what I feel. Again, for Bank Nifty, I am very happy that it is sustaining above 44,500 level. I think anything above 44,000 gives you a confident feeling. Nasdaq, I've already explained, till the time it is able to sustain above 12,800 levels, I am okay with Nasdaq, right? This is my understanding about the markets. For stocks, this is a time when I should not be recommending you anything, but but I'm giving you a contrarian view. Now, one stock from chemical sector is Navin Fluorine. Friday, the MD of the company has quit, and now somebody has to come in his place. When this news came out that MD has quit, not citing any good reasons or his term was over, nothing like that, but he has quit. But no adverse statements were made. But this was not taken in a positive spirit कि suddenly MD ने क्यों resign किया. And in last 2 years, 4 people from top management have resigned. Because of which on Friday, Navin Fluorine was down by 13%. And now the stock is trading close to its 52-week low. 52-week low, which is around 3766. 52-week high for the stock is 4950, which I think happened just a couple of months back. So from 4,950, the stock has come down to 3,766. Just 1 week back, the stock I think was trading around 4,500. So from 4,500, the stock has come down to 3,766. क्योंकि मैंने आपको बोला, Friday itself the stock was down 13%. Yes, when top key personnel of the company leave the company, it does create some doubt in the mind of stakeholders कि क्या अंदर में कुछ problems चल रहा है क्या company के. But then I have been a firm believer of one thing: if a company is fundamentally good, okay, then one person does not run the show. One person does not define the fate of the company. One person does not define the destiny of the company. People come, people go. Right now, I personally feel इतना टेंशन लेने का नहीं है. A contrarian bet can be taken, but because it is a high value share, maybe you don't have to take a very big quantity. Go with 25-30 shares. But I think this is a good time to start accumulating the share. If you are risk averse, if you don't want to take chances, go with 50% of the quantity what you can afford to buy. If you can buy 50 shares, wherein you are ready to put 150,000, 170,000 into this stock, just because I am saying, so probably I would suggest don't buy 50 at one go. You buy 25 right now, then wait. Let the stock stabilize. अगर वो 3700, 3600, 3650, 3700 का रेंज में आपको स्टेबलाइज होते हुए दिखेगा, then you can add up another 25. If you're very aggressive and you just trust or go by my word, then you can take 50 shares at one go. But don't take a very big exposure. So try to take it in this 25 to 50 shares ka range. But I think 4200, 4300 is something which will come very fast in this stock. But because I am suggesting don't buy this stock, okay, this is just a suggestion from my end. Do your research before you buy it. Read about the fundamentals of the company, and please do it at your own risk, and please take suggestions from your financial advisor if you plan to do it. Whatever I am telling you is just a gesture of friendship from my side. Okay, please don't buy shares based on my opinion, guys, because it's just an opinion, and I'm not giving you any financial advisory services over here. Okay, chalo. I hope you liked the video. I got a lot of messages yesterday that what happened, you have not made a video. So video was supposed to be done, but I was just teasing you people. I thought, okay, let's take a day off. Monday is a holiday, so why not make it on Monday after seeing Dow futures, how they are behaving. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and if you like it, please leave a thumbs up, leave some comments, because that is what encourages me to do this every week. Okay, chalo, bye bye. God bless all of you. Thank you, guys.